I'm kind of obsessed with how my Holy Grails look on me. Hey everyone, these are my 2024 Holy Grail products in each category. For reference, I do have very dry skin with horrible dry patches in the winter, and I'm quite sweaty in the summer. So let's go ahead. The Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream suits my dry patches like no other moisturizer out there, and it also layers extremely well under makeup. But it is quite expensive, although I've repurchased this so many times because it's so good. I don't wear primers every day, but when I do, my favorite is the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. It's outstanding in gripping makeup and smoothing your skin without feeling overly matte. I actually prefer the Maybelline Build-A-Brow over this one formula-wise, but shade-wise, the NYX Lift and Snatch is better for me. Would have loved for the formula to be thinner. For brow pencils, I've been obsessing over micro pencils lately, and this has a 0.8 mm tip for perfect hair-like strokes. The Kosas Airbrow just has me on this chokehold, especially the shade Taupe. It has a very airy, breathable formula that doesn't leave the hair feeling crisp. Then we have the ABH Brow Freeze Gel, which features a triple comb applicator, which pairs very well with the formula to create a very easy laminated look. Compared to other brow pomades in the market, this doesn't feel as stiff as the others, and it's not going to dry you out even though it's a very long wearing formula. This one has been a favorite for years. I've honestly preferred this over higher end brow waxes. This isn't drying, but the hold is great and it doesn't have a residue. This is an incredible smudge-proof brow powder formula. I just wish the tones were similar to their pomade. This one leans a bit warm. The Cosmetics Divine Water is kinda unique. It basically is infused with hyaluronic acid and peptides to hydrate, prime, set, and refresh the base. It's perfect for dry skin because it's very hydrating. As the name suggests, the Glossier Stretch Concealer is indeed very stretchable. It's just blendable in every way. This is perfect for dry skin during winter time. Next up is an ultimate holy grail for summer. This is the Nars Soft Matte Concealer in the pot version. This spot conceals like no other. It's basically a magic eraser. And then we have an underrated but a cult classic in my collection. This is the Givenchy Prisme Libre concealer. It just makes my skin look very healthy in cold months. And another holy grail for spot concealing, the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. This is basically my liquid version of the Nars Soft Matte Concealer. To be frank, my favorite glow enhancer is the Charlotte Tilbury, Dior, and the Auric in a three-way tie, but the Charlotte Tilbury is the most blinding. I'm underpainting, so I'm gonna skip the skin tint category for later. Now, unfortunately, my stick foundation is discontinued. It's the Tom Ford stick foundation, and this lip is just so beautiful. It's so creamy but blurring. I guess the Ilia stick foundation would be a close alternative if you want something that you can buy right now in the market. Now for cream foundations, I know Patrick Ta's liquid foundation has been very viral lately, but this is still my favorite base from the brand. And surprise, surprise, another Chanel product. It just works really well with my skin, how hydrating their products are. The Cushion Foundation is no exception. Now for liquid foundations, the most skin-like product that I've ever tried is from Shanta Kai. This works really well for a variety of skin types. I've been so obsessed with Space Cowboy. I think anything with a warm sheer base with cool glitter is just so pretty. I didn't expect to love this as much as I do because the neutrals are just so pretty and there's a mix of mattes and satins in this palette. Also, it's backstage, so it's not as expensive as other luxury eyeshadows. The Lightwork 6 is by far my most favorite packaging innovation so far, and the glitters are of course stunning. I'm so in love with the glittery eyeshadow from Still at the Club. However, there's two eyeshadows in this duo, and I just don't love the other one. I think the Live Tinted You Glow Drops are criminally underrated. This is such a gorgeous mix of skincare and glowing serum. For my favorite cream highlighter, it would have to be the Chanel Balm Essentiel in the shade Lilas specifically. This is a multi-use stick and the shade is actually not very cool tone, it's just so gorgeous. The Dior Glow Face palette has been a favorite for years. The powder is finely milled and it just gives you a beautiful sheen on the cheeks. I adore this iconic contour duo, especially in the shade medium shadow, because I'm so fair this actually looks kind of neutral to warm on me, which I prefer on my nose contour. If you're looking for high quality powders at an affordable price, I highly suggest looking into K-Beauty, like this one from Misha. It's called Cotton Contour. Guys, I don't understand why this isn't viral yet if the Tom Ford Contour Duo is, because it's so similar to the contour portion. This is also a balm, but it's more pigmented and more shades. I was so excited when this came out because there weren't a lot of contours back then, and I still use it right now. I think it's a pretty solid formula. Same with the Fenty stick, I really love that one, but it did run out, so I purchased this Sephora contour stick when it launched, and I've been very impressed so far. This is one of my most repurchased items of all time because it does run out pretty quickly, but I just love the formula. I love sheer bronzers. This is just a chef's kiss. A makeup product that will change your brain chemistry is the Hourglass baked powders, including the bronzer is just so finely milled and very soft on the cheeks. If I could only have one complexion product, it would be the Chanel Water Fresh tint. However, it is very sheer and maybe too hydrating, but somehow it blurs my skin, minimizes my pores and texture without feeling like makeup. Another barely there product that I've been loving is the new bronzing serum from Makeup by Mario. I did notice that as I age, I preferred low pigment products for a natural look. For the bronzer sticks, it is a three-way tie again with the LYS Westman Atelier and the Rare Beauty. This one just wins ever so slightly. I do think I'm too in love with the Gucci powder bronzer packaging to be recommending this one, but specifically the shade 01 for fair skin. It's so unique, it's almost rosy. For the Chanel Cream Bronzer, I know a lot of people hated the reformulation. I believe it was reformulated, but I personally don't mind. I think the formula and tones are still very beautiful. However, the shades are very lacking. This is the deepest one on my skin tone. I love using it for a sunburnt effect. Shade 395 looks so beautiful for the summer, but I can only imagine for darker skin. It's strange because I love sheer formulas and then I also love pigmented ones, but then I sheer it out again. And I also am very obsessed with multi-use products. This is from Westman Atelier. This is their blush stick, but you can use it on the lips and cheeks. So because my lips are more pigmented, there are some multi-use products that look ashy on my lips. This is not the case for the Westman Atelier sticks. I feel like they did study how it look on different levels of pigment. For liquid blush, I have loved Rare Beauty for so long, but I was running out, so I decided to try Say, and I was not disappointed. I feel like the Chanel blush balm is quite unique because it's thinner in consistency, but it doesn't sacrifice the pigment. Now, I did forget to film my favorite matte powder blush. It is from Pat McGrath. Shout out to Flirtatious. It's the perfect sad beige blush. For demi-matte formulas, I love the Gucci blushes because it just gives you a healthy glow without obvious shimmer on your face. I also love the shades. I think they're so delicate, but not muted to the point that they all look the same. My number one cream blushes has always been the So Soft blushes from M Cosmetics, but I tried this from Danessa and they both have a cream to powder finish. However, this is multi-use, so for now, I do prefer this. And of course, to no surprise, my favorite luminous powder blush is from Hourglass. They release different types of blushes every year. However, my favorite would be the marbled ones because it's softer, it's a more diffuse glow and pigment. For loose powders, I'm so in love with the Givenchy Prisme Libre loose powder blush, especially in the shade Voile Coral, because it's just a perfect mix of orange and pink for summer. Now there's regular liquid blush and then there's a serum blush which is much thinner in consistency. It's almost like skincare. I do love the Hourglass formula, however I prefer the M Cosmetics serum blush because I'm drier, it's more hydrating, it's just that it doesn't set as much. This one truly boggles my mind because how is this so blurring and talc free at the same time? The only giveaway that I could think of is the wear time because it doesn't last long throughout the day. And that's why I preferred talc powders because it's so blurring, it's so finely milled, and at the same time, I don't really have to retouch on my dry skin. You can skip this one if you don't like talc in your products. However, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder is one of my holy grail summer products of all time. Unfortunately, my perfect once-in-a-lifetime powder for my skin type has been discontinued. You can try Chanel or Mario as an alternative. At least I still have my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder. This is quite similar to the Givenchy, it's just more of a summer formula than winter. Now going into lip liners, I'm going by colors. The best brown lip liner is 162 from Chanel. I love how sultry this is, and it's a perfect neutral brown. For mauve lip liners, I can't choose between these two. The first is from About Face. It's called Midnight Seduction. And the second is Maybelline in Big Lift. I love mauve lip liners because I have a bit of green on my skin tone, so this turns to be the perfect neutral shade for me. By the way, the last three lip liners are very long lasting. And now I'm just going in with the About Face lip liner. And can you just see how neutral mauve looks on me? I used to follow the advice of people on social media recommending their favorite beige lip liner, but it just looks so peachy on me, and it turns out it was just my undertone. For example, I do love rosy liners like this one from Hourglass in Temp 3. However, everyone tries it says it's the perfect neutral when it's obviously peachy for me. Now, beige liners for me are in between a shadow shade and a pinky nude. My favorite is from Charlotte Tilbury in Iconic Nude. I can choose between these three grade lip liners. The first is from Makeup Forever in Endless Cacao, the original one, and then Dior in Grage Attitude. And the third is still from Makeup Forever in the new formula, the Extreme Lip Pencil. All of my Holy Grail lip liners that I just showed you are supposedly very long lasting, except for the original Makeup Forever Endless Cacao formula. That one smudges very easily. But there you have it, beautiful shadow shades. My favorite Freckle pen is actually a brow product from Revlon. It's called Brow Ink. I think it was the shade 395 that I preferred. This is a bit too dark, but nonetheless, it creates great beauty marks. But if you're more technical and really want a freckle pen, I also recommend the Kimchi Chic Freckle pen. I just prefer the wand on Revlon because it's a bit stiffer, so the beauty marks are more precise, and the formula on this one is surprisingly thin. Now for lip oils, it was very close between the Dior and Clarins. It's just that I have very dry lips, so because this is thicker, I do prefer it more nourishing. I've been obsessed with this lipstick because reds disappear so fast on me. I eat a lot throughout the day, and this one is transfer proof. I think this is one of the most underrated lipsticks of all time. The Hourglass Slim Lipstick has a beautiful satin formula, and once you sheer it out, it actually looks like a tint, especially in this shade because it's a bit more red. So stunning. Now for lip gloss, I know why everyone loves the YSL Candy Glaze. It's so nourishing, but it also delivers on the shine. I highly recommend the Hourglass Phantom Glossy Balm if you want something like a sophisticated level of shine without being too pigmented. This is my current obsession right now. The Bisou Balms are sheer and matte, yet it doesn't feel drying, and the formula doesn't feel powdery for something so diffused. I really love the Summer Fridays, but it's quite thin, and Naturium is so hard to get out of the tube, so the best would be the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve treatment for me. So nourishing even on the driest of days. I haven't been reaching for a liquid lipstick, but when I do, it should be transfer proof. I love this Urban Decay Bond lipstick. And lastly, the setting spray of my dreams. This just melts makeup so beautifully and it lasts all day. Oh my goodness, that was such a long video for me. Thank you so much for watching. Those were my Holy Grail products for the year 2024. I loved how my makeup turned out so far, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye!